Alright guys, so this is Quizlet. It is an online flashcard website that students can use to either create their own flashcards or you can create flashcards for your class and send it out for them to study. We're going to begin by hitting create. And it does let you import documents from different Microsoft and Google services. I'm titling this one Geometry Vocabulary. And to create the flashcard, all I have to do is type a term. So if I type in line, I can either type it or I can also speak it. And then on the opposite side, I can just type in the definition. Both directions. And what that will do is create a flashcard then that the students can use. It has a vocabulary term and has a definition. If I add this plus sign, it comes up with its own definitions that you can use. If you're not good at typing or you want to just use one of the ones they have in their bank. You can also add an image. It will read the term for you, so you don't have to search too far. So I can add this image in here and it adds it right there, or again, I can speak it. So we can go ahead and we can create just a few cards. Go ahead and create 1 or 2 cards for whatever topic would fit with your grade level. Again, you can add a banked definition or you can add an image. So you might want to go ahead and add an image if it's applicable to whatever card you're creating. I happen to think it's easier to use these flashcards for math as opposed to reading, but that's just because we do more vocabulary in math than reading. You could also use it for science or social studies, or really any subject that you teach where you need your students to memorize any type of vocabulary, or pictures even. So once you've typed in your cards, you can go ahead and hit create, which is down at the bottom. And this is where you can share it with your class if you would like. Right now I don't have a class set up since we're working on this summer, so I'm going to click an X out of that. But this screen gives you different ways that your students can practice that vocabulary. So if I click Learn, it's going to test you. Okay? And it gives you the definition, and then you can either choose the correct answer. I'm going to choose the wrong answer so you can see what happens. It does come up. If you go back to the options, it's free if you can buy the upgrade. The flashcards are the regular flashcards. You can flip them just like you normally would. You can star them if you don't know this one and you want to come back. So that's a great self-assessment tool. When you click options, you can decide whether you want to start with the word, the term or the definition. Going back to the different ways to play, write, they give you the definition. The students have to write the term. So if this is a spelling practice, that's a great way to do that. Spell it, that's spelling too, obviously. So type what you hear, it'll say the word, you would just type out what it is that the vocabulary term is. I don't have my speakers on, so that's not working right now. I like, testing is just like a multiple choice test, matching, let's figure out matching is. I like the gravity game. So for this one, you can either start with the term and then they have to write the definition. You can start with the definition and then they write the term, or it can go both ways, just a way to build that fluency with whichever vocabulary you're using. And the asteroids would come down. And this way, because I'd have to type out the definition, it might take a little bit longer. But it's just another way to practice that same skill. I'm going to let this one drop. And it's going to keep showing up. I only have 2 in there, so it's not going to have a lot of options. But again, as you create more flashcards with more vocabulary, it'll get tougher and tougher. So those are the basics for Quizlet. If you would like to share with your class, you can create a class. I've started one. Obviously, haven't added anybody yet. But when you pick members, they will give you a link to join, and then you can send it out. I know we use Class Dojo. That's one way you can do it. You can email it to parents. But then they can join their link, and you can actually monitor the student's progress. So this could be a homework assignment one night. You go home, study your vocabulary for Maryland history or something like that, and then you can actually monitor their progress. The students can make their own if they sign up for the account, or like I said, you can send it out. So this is a great tool for encouraging students to test their vocabulary knowledge and while making it fun and interactive. Any questions?
So, okay, once I get here with the two cards made, and then I go to create, correct?
So create's where you actually go to begin the cards the first time.
Okay.
So you have, this is what your screen looks like?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to put in a term just because it might not, it may not continue if I don't add something in there. I'm going to use the auto-define feature. English, please. So it's got the multilingual, which is a nice asset too. Okay. So then,
that is for the Spanish students. That would really be good.
Which we don't have a large population here, but I know at your school you have
I had non-speaking,
absolutely. So this is
students, so
excellent tool for that then.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I wonder if then you could put the Spanish term and then the English, so that when they did the flashcards for the picture.
Maybe one could be Spanish first, and 2 could be, you would just have to make sure they knew that the second one
So
was the English term.
So I put the Spanish version here. If I put, you're saying if I put point here to learn the English. Well, let's see. Create a file. I need 2 cards to create it. Excuse me. Let's try another one.
That was where I got behind.
Okay. So let's do angle here. And maybe in Spanish. Do angle here. Maybe that in English. Yes, thank you. Title, we're just doing vocab. That's because I clicked the wrong button. Alright, now we can create it. I don't want to share it just yet. So let's use the flashcard feature. And when we flip it, it does not do that. So it must mean that you have to keep the same link that we're Or perhaps when it's, again, perhaps when it's red, it looks different, or it sounds, they can see the English word in here in Spanish. Again, my speakers aren't set up right now, but that would be a great thing to test. So, Anita, what was your, did you?
I got it. Yep, I figured.
Okay.
I watched you do it, and I did it with you.
Okay, all right. Any other questions?
So do you think this is something we would probably set up like as a center for one of the games
That
for the
would be,
students?
yeah, absolutely. If you've got it, and I believe it's also available on iPads. You can pull it up that way as well. If you've got the tablet instead of the desktop computers or the laptops. So even students play it in the car on a long trip, something like that. Even if you've got iPads that you can take with you on a field trip, short field trip maybe, you could do that. But absolutely a center. This could be a end of the day, got 10 minutes, don't know what else left to do. Let's just play a real quick game. Divide them up into teams and do it Jeopardy style even.
So would they get? Is that when you would share it so that they would be able to get what you made?
Right. So exactly. So you share that, and they would get a link to after they join. They join your class. They get through that link, and then they can pull up any that you've done. So when I go back to my Quizlet here, your study sets has any that you've created. So I created a longer one with geometry terms. So I can show you that one to show the games and things like that. But then I go to match.
that's exactly what they'll see.
Exactly. So this is what it right. So, and then they can simply match them up, and they'll disappear. You can see there's a timer over there, so you can like,
Right.
beat the clock type of thing. Who can do it faster? Can you beat the teacher? Can you do that type of thing? Depending on the technology available in your class, you can do this individual, small group, whole group. That's another great thing about it.
And how did you make it a game?
That's just match. So once you're finished creating and
Right.
you got your set done, match is just one of these.
It'll just do it for you.
It automatically, right?
Oh,
So
that's
these are all
awesome.
these study options come up all by themselves.
Well, what would write look like?
Sure. So now you've got to type it out.
Oh, okay. So that's something that I would have to make, right?
No, this is one of the options that comes. It's automatically coming with the site.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. So it's up there, and they have to answer what it is.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Oh,
So
that's-
this option you probably would want to do more independently, not as a whole group.
Oh, right, for
But,
sure.
But like you
use that
said,
as a center.
absolutely.
Or it's one of your rotations, like
Right,
the exit
right.
flip,
Mm-hmm.
and to get back to their seat, they grab their tablet.
You know, a student constantly struggles with CVC words or magic E words,
Right,
or whatever they may be called down in primary.
Right, I'm not
You-
sure.
You pull that, you'll learn. You pull one, you create some of these flashcards
Right.
and then have them listen to it because it does have the sound feature to it. You can have them learn to spell it that way.
Oh, okay.
I'm more math oriented, that's why all of mine stick
Right.
with geometry, but I certainly, I mean, this seems to be,
Or match that CBCE word with a picture when you play the match game. So they're having to read the word and then
Right,
match it with
right.
their picture
Right.
as a center.
right,
What's the live do?
that connects you.
Oh, okay.
So if you're having groups of people play,
Right.
I don't know that it's going to work because I haven't shared it with anybody,
Right.
so I'm not going to be able to show you that. But you do get a code, and then yes, the students can play against each
Oh,
other.
okay. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
It does say you need 4+ students, so
Okay. So we'd have to put students.
yeah. But it's fun. If you're doing guided reading rotations or guided math rotations,
Right.
you're going to have more than 4 students in a group.
Right.
This part would take a little bit of planning ahead of time. You'd have to really make sure that the code's been shared. You don't want them to waste their time accessing the code and
Right.
loading it again. So that's going to take a little bit more of your planning time away. But once you get into the habit of it,
Right.
it'll just become your routine either way.
I love those rotations.
I do too. I'm thinking definitely use it as one of my guided reading centers next year.
That's what I'm thinking too.
For your special ed group, I mean, all kinds
For
of
sure.
accommodations. And getting them even to ask for those accommodations, like, can you read this to me? This
Right.
could help with
Right.
that. You know,
That
if they're
too.
they're
Because
used to
they
hearing
don't.
it, because they're not going to ask for it.
Follow up on great and doing something math.
And you can see there was easy to create. It could not have been any simpler. Oh, you've got speakers on
I
yours.
do. Oh my gosh. It's not very loud.
It's
But
okay.
And I liked that I could do my follow up and see how they did instead of just always giving a copy of something for them to read on. I could create
And they're going to learn digital literacy this way. I mean, our kids, by the time your primary students are in 4th grade, they're not going to have worksheets and things like this. They're going to expect you learning in this way. This is what's going to connect with them.
Can you see which ones they get right and which ones they get wrong?
If you share it with the class, it does record it. I have not shared it because I didn't have any students to share it with. But that's definitely, there you go, class progress. If you got it.
Okay.
But I think there's also a way to do it if you
Yeah.
but I just haven't shared it with the class to do it yet.
so for that, you would have to purchase it, right?
If you do the class progress, I
Right.
believe if you do this one with
Yeah.
the scores, it's
Right.
you'll still be able to see it.
I'm just wondering if it's something administration would pay for.
Possibly.
That Title I money.
There you go. I mean, you guys have the technology for sure.
Wow. Yeah, we do.
So, any other questions?
That's awesome.
Then go ahead and get started creating your own. I think you guys are going to like this. I hope your students like it too.